If Venice were only a city on water, it would already be remarkable. But the deeper truth is stranger. Much of it stands on wood. Below the churches, below the palaces, below the polished stone steps touched by the tide, there is a buried forest no visitor can see. For centuries, people have walked through Venice without realizing that one of Europe's most famous stone cities depends on timber driven into mud. The mystery is not whether Venice floats. It does not float. It grips the lagoon floor with millions of hidden wooden supports. A city that should have dissolved, tilted, or vanished became instead a maritime republic, a trading empire, and a symbol of impossible endurance. To understand Venice, we must look beneath the postcard surface, into a world of marshland, brackish water, fear, labor, and invention. Before the palaces, there was uncertainty. Before the canals, there were shifting islands, soft sediment, and water that refused to stay still. The lagoon was not an obvious place to build a city. It was shallow, unstable, difficult to defend from nature, and difficult to occupy with stone. Yet in that difficult landscape, people fleeing mainland danger found something precious: separation, protection, and time. According to historical tradition, early communities grew here as mainland populations sought refuge from invasions and political collapse. The place was inconvenient by design. Armies struggled in the shallows. Horses could not charge through mud and channels. What looked like weakness became a shield. Water became a wall. Isolation became the first architecture of survival. But protection alone could not build Venice. The settlers needed foundations where the ground itself behaved like a living thing. The islands were made of clay, silt, sand, and compressed organic material. Heavy buildings would sink unless the weight was carried differently. So Venice began with a solution that sounds almost impossible: drive wooden stakes deep into the wet earth until the soft ground resisted. These piles were not decorative. They were the city's hidden skeleton, packed close together beneath the future streets and walls. The wood was driven through unstable sediment toward firmer layers below, creating a compact support system beneath stone platforms. Then came planks, stone, brick, and weight distributed carefully across surfaces that the lagoon could bear. The technique was not magic. It was patience repeated thousands and thousands of times until mud became architecture. In ordinary conditions, buried wood rots. But Venice was built in conditions that were anything but ordinary. Because the piles remained underwater and starved of oxygen, the organisms that normally consume wood could not work in the usual way. Over time, minerals in the water helped harden the submerged timber, making the hidden forest more durable than logic suggests. This is why the most fragile material in the story became one of Venice's most enduring strengths. Wood below, stone above, water everywhere. Venice was not built against the lagoon alone. It was built with the lagoon's strange chemistry. The city grew slowly, not as one grand plan, but as a chain of islands stitched together by necessity. Each island needed reinforcement. Each canal edge needed control. Each new church, market, or warehouse demanded trust in the unseen ground. The Venetians learned to build light where they could, distribute weight where they had to, and respect the weakness beneath their feet. This is one reason Venice developed a distinctive architecture: elegant, vertical, often lighter than its marble surfaces suggest. The beauty above the water was shaped by the danger below it. Ornament had to negotiate with mud. As Venice expanded, timber became a strategic resource. Forests from mainland territories fed the city beneath the city. The invisible foundations of Venice began far from the canals, in forests, rivers, quarries, and trade routes. Every palace required more than wealth. It required woodcutters, boatmen, pile drivers, masons, and generations of practical knowledge. The labor was repetitive, physical, and unforgiving. One mistake in alignment could haunt a building for centuries. But when the system worked, the results seemed miraculous. Stone buildings rising from a place that had no stone ground. Venice did not conquer the lagoon in one dramatic moment. It learned the lagoon's rules and survived by obeying them. Tides flushed through the city. Canals carried movement, waste, goods, and danger. Water was street, moat, mirror, and threat. The same water that protected Venice also attacked it, bringing salt, dampness, erosion, and constant maintenance. This is why Venice is not only a masterpiece of construction, it is a masterpiece of maintenance. Its survival required dredging channels, repairing edges, replacing stones, managing timber, and reading the mood of water. A city on dry land can forget its foundations. Venice never could. By the Middle Ages, this unstable refuge had become a serious power, its ships moving between Europe, Byzantium, and the Eastern Mediterranean. Trade filled the city with stone, spices, glass, silk, gold, ideas, and ambition. The hidden piles supported not just buildings, but an economy that connected continents. Above the lagoon, Venice became theatrical, facades of marble, golden mosaics, and ceremonial spaces designed to impress the world. Below it all, the city remained dependent on a quiet engineering truth. Beauty could stand only if the mud was controlled. The Doge's palace, the churches, the bridges, and the houses all belong to the same hidden logic. Even the famous canals are part of the story. They are not decorative gaps. They are the circulation system of the city. The Grand Canal bends like a memory through Venice, following older channels shaped by water long before palaces lined its edge. To build beside it, Venetians had to turn shoreline into architecture, stabilizing edges that the tide constantly tested. The city became a negotiation between human geometry and natural movement. Look closely at Venice, and you see this negotiation everywhere. Stairs that descend into water, doors that open onto boats, walls stained by tides. The ordinary details reveal the extraordinary condition. In Venice, the ground floor is never entirely safe from the sea. And yet, for centuries, life continued. Prayers, markets, festivals, negotiations, shipbuilding, and daily footsteps over hidden wood. The impossible city became normal to those who lived inside it. But the deeper you study Venice, the less normal it becomes. Its foundations are not a single secret chamber. They are a system repeated beneath churches, homes, bridges, and squares. Some structures required astonishing numbers of piles, packed together so tightly that the mud itself became compressed and stronger. This hidden density explains how weight could be spread, how walls could stand, and how stone could appear to defy water. The miracle was not one invention. It was a culture of building that treated the unseen as seriously as the visible. That attitude shaped Venice's greatness. A city so concerned with appearances was secretly obsessed with what lay underneath. As wealth grew, Venice turned its precarious location into a stage of power. Foreign visitors saw a city rising from the sea like a vision. They did not see the labor buried below the tide. That contrast is part of Venice's spell. Effortless beauty above, relentless engineering beneath. But no system lasts without consequences. The lagoon is alive, and Venice's relationship with it has always been fragile. Flooding, subsidence, salt, and rising water continue to test the city in ways its founders could never fully predict. Modern barriers and restoration efforts can reduce some dangers, but they cannot erase the old truth. Venice depends on balance. Too much water is disaster. Too little flow harms the lagoon. Too much weight strains the ground. Too much neglect invites decay. The city's future, like its past, rests on understanding the environment that made it possible. What makes Venice powerful is not that it defeated nature forever. It never did. Its genius was more subtle. It survived by adapting, layer by layer, pile by pile, century by century. The wooden stakes beneath Venice are not just engineering. They are evidence of fear transformed into civilization. They tell us that monuments are often built from invisible decisions repeated by people whose names are forgotten. They remind us that history's most elegant places can rest on solutions born from desperation. Venice became beautiful because it first had to become possible. And possibility, in this city, began with wood disappearing into water. The next time Venice appears to float, remember what the water hides. Every reflection on the canal is only half the story. The other half is buried where light rarely reaches. Beneath the marble and mosaics, beneath the bridges and footsteps, there is a submerged forest holding a dream in place. The impossible city was never floating. It was anchored to patience, fear, trade, faith, and the stubborn intelligence of those who built it. And that is why Venice remains one of history's most haunting achievements. A stone city standing on buried wood, still negotiating with the sea.